I would like to guide you through a simple meditation practice that you can exercise anytime in your own home. And this is something that I do and have been doing faithfully for years, but especially now I am upping the ante and meditating more than ever to manage my stress and my anxiety. Before I begin, I just want to speak a little bit about what I have spoken about in previous videos, but I will reiterate it because it's so important and because I'm so passionate about it, why I practice meditation daily and why it's so important and precious to me. In terms of stress management and coping, it's a natural way to cope, and it's free, and it's something that's sustainable. And in my own life, I have noticed that the practices and the habits that I wish to adopt in my daily life and make it my lifestyle, these are the ones that are going to be the most sustainable to me. So my skincare, eating well, yoga, meditation, I practice these on a daily basis because I've created a simplified routine for each one of these that I can sustain for my lifetime, really, for the rest of my life. And I have been very successful in doing that. So I like to try and help others do that as well, if they want to, of course. I have so many people expressing to me that they wish to start a meditation practice for the purposes of stress management. And it is so important to manage stress in a meaningful way that is sustainable for you, in a healthful way. Because stress is a killer. Stress impedes immune function. It harms the cells, it's aging to the cells, and of course it upsets the mind. So as we know, finding a meaningful way to cope with stress is crucial to managing our lives. Another note that I will reiterate is that the goal for mindfulness meditation is not to block out what you're feeling. So for instance, as I have recovered, luckily, from the virus, it has been a little bit of a rocky road for me emotionally, that I have had to, employ some extra grace with myself. I'll just put it that way. My point is that the idea of meditation is not to resist or suppress or change what you're feeling. So for instance, if I sit down in the morning and I feel sad, the idea of my meditation practice is not to then feel happy, which is the opposite of sad. No, it's to be with myself in that sadness, to allow the feeling to be and sit with it and ground myself in that. And there's a calmness and a serenity, believe it or not, in allowing oneself to simply feel what's going on. It connects us to our body, it connects us spiritually to our inner consciousness, and it really grounds. It's a grounding exercise, and you will find that if you do this, there's a much more peaceful calm that comes over you in the end than if you were to suppress whatever you're feeling. So that resistance is not the path here. And I also interestingly read a study, I think it was out of Harvard, to put it shortly. People felt worse if they meditated with the focus of feeling the opposite of what they were feeling, if it was a negative emotion, and they were focused on changing that to be altered into a positive state. After the meditation, they actually felt worse. So that is reinforcing what I just explained, is that we don't want to change or alter or reverse a negative thought. It's to be with the negative thought, if that's it's happening in your body and in your being. It's to be with that and allow it and accept it. And that acceptance, with that acceptance comes that grounded feeling of knowing how you feel and being okay with not being okay. So without further ado, I will start with the simple breathing mindfulness meditation. So if you're not already, take a comfortable seat. You can pause the video to take a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. And if it's more comfortable for you to recline or lay on the floor, do so. You can close your eyes or otherwise just relax your eyelids down, looking down. That's what I often do. Inhale for a count of 1 through 4 at your own pace. Retain the breath for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. So we will repeat this. Inhale for a count of 4. Retain the breath. Count to 4 at your own pace. Exhale. And sustain the exhale for a count of 4. You can deep breathe in this way several cycles. Continue to deep breathe. Feel the belly expand as you inhale. Allow the belly to expand fully. And as you exhale, feel the contraction of the belly. Inhale once again. And as you inhale, you can imagine absorbing lightness, grace, gratitude, and positivity into your being. And as you exhale, imagine exhaling your stress, your pressure. If there's pressure in your physical body, take your attention to that pressure and release it with your breath. Inhale once again. Inhale all the lightness. Exhale. If there's an area of your body that you feel is holding or gripping, grasping tightly, take your attention, focus your breath on that area, gently guide your breath to that area. With the exhale, allow it to release. We'll do one more inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sustain the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Sustain the exhalation. 2, 3, 4. You can open your eyes if your eyes are closed and take an inventory of your physical body. So I like to start at the top of my scalp and just take a body scan all the way down to the tips of my toes. Take however long you need to do that. I often take 10 to 15 minutes doing this, so that's quite a long time to devote. And it really is a grounding exercise, especially in the morning. I wake up early just to do this. Believe it or not, I set aside about half an hour chunk of my morning. So if that's at 5:30, so I can start my day as it were at 6, I do that. Sometimes it's 5 a.m., sometimes it's even 4:45 because I go to bed early as a yogi, so I rise early. But whatever it is for you, I just want to reiterate the importance of, if it's not meditation, find a mindfulness exercise where you can invite the practice of mindfulness into your life for the purpose of managing stress. Because I will say it till I'm blue in the face, and I am including myself, of course. I hope it goes without saying that when we don't have meaningful ways to cope, healthy ways to cope, we will turn to substances, chemicals, otherwise unhealthy and self-destructive behaviors, habits, addictions, you name it, any number of these things or all of these things, and we will rely on those to cope and get through. Why? Because we have to survive. And so that's all of us, that's every one of us. And nobody is exempt from stress, because as long as we're alive and breathing and existing, we have stress. It's my hope to share this mindfulness meditation with you if that's the route you choose, and if it's gardening or knitting or cleaning or any kind of creative outlet, making music. Choose something that you can pour your mindfulness into and make it a habit, a daily habit, and attend to it. And put your focus on that, is what I'm trying to say, rather than be consumed with the stress. Because I have fallen into that trap myself, where I become so engrossed in my own stress that it's pathologized into a mental illness. And that's actually what happens with mental illness, is we get stuck so much in our own minds that we cannot get out. So meditation is kind of a way to be in the mind and be with it and explore and discover that it's actually okay. It's all okay. Those worries of the past, regrets of the past that we can't change, and those projections of the future that we fictionalize and write the story ending to that hasn't happened yet, that causes us such anxiety and worry, that too is eradicated, because we realize that when we come into the present moment, the now, actually neither of these stresses actually exist. Right? Right. They don't exist. It exists only in the mind. And if we can be with that and be at peace with that, there is a tremendous amount of comfort. And I'm not trying to say this is easy, and it's not an overnight thing. It wasn't an overnight realization to me. That's why I practice every day, because it's a challenge and it's a struggle. And some days are an enormous challenge, mentally speaking, or emotionally, or everything. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge worthwhile because the reward is invaluable, and it will sustain not only the spiritual practice as my life goes on, but it sustains me physically and mentally and emotionally, and it allows me to function optimally. And so I treat meditation like almost like taking a supplement. It's like a daily ritual for me. And if you are interested at all in it, I encourage you to start simply just by connecting with your breath. And I like to do it first thing in the morning because it's a habit then. It makes it a habit, like brushing your teeth or washing your face. It becomes habitual. And the healthiest habits are the ones that we can do daily without being forced, and that yield wonderful results. And so these are the things that I like to collect and make my lifestyle, and I have. And my hope for you watching is that if you are interested in meditation, that you don't abandon it. I've had so many people say that they tried and failed, and I will say that again too, that there's no failure in meditation. You are doing and practicing so long as you are trying and practicing. That is the meditation. There's no such thing as failure. And with that, I wish you all good luck. Let's all stay well. Bless you. Thank you for watching. Bye.